Sync.
Cool.
We did it.
Welcome back to the Triple Baka podcast. This is episode 8, I believe.
I don't know anymore.
I don't pay attention.
We're recording at 1 a.m.
Yes.
I'm really tired.
I just woke up.
I want to play more Waka.
Editor, quick, throw in an image of Waka.
Save it for the arcades too.
Yeah. No, remember how in the arcades episode, I said I'd never been to an arcade? It's changed now.
Yeah.
The whole game has changed.
Yeah, I'm responsible for this change. I took Nyuu to the arcade.
I couldn't go.
Well, Nyuu, how was your arcade experience?
It's the way games were meant to be played.
True.
I'm never playing a game on a computer ever again. They're for spreadsheets.
That includes
Also
PS4
true.
and 5.
Double true.
And Xbox 360 and 1.
Home consoles are for first-person shooters and nothing else.
Yes.
Actually, no, those belong in the arcades too, a la Half-Life 2 Survivor.
And House of the Dead 4.
Extremely disappointed I'll never actually get to play Half-Life 2 Survivor.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is literally no anime news, so
Yeah.
we're just going to talk about the episodes we've been watching.
Yeah.
What have you been watching?
I am still plugging away at Densetsu Kyojin Ideon, and the show has really picked up the pace and is actually, like, good now. It took a long time to get here, but, you know, every episode I watch is a new, fresh horror, and I cannot believe that no character in the series is having a million red flags about this fucking robot. It's literally able to generate black holes if people get too stressed inside of it. Like...
What could possibly go wrong?
I have heard that the movie is one of, if not the, like, single most, like, insane finishing movies for a franchise from this time period. So I am very excited to see where this is gonna go.
There is anime news.
Oh shit, there is. We can
We'll
talk about that
in a few minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, so far I don't think anything like specific like has happened that I can bring up other than like the black hole thing. Like, I don't know. This show is getting really weird where like in most shows of this era, like, it'll show, like, you know, like, the robot exploding or the ship exploding, but Ideon kept cutting to the inside of the cockpit, and you could see the person die. Like, their body would, like, be blown to bits while you watch. And this show was released in 1980. It is quite the experience. Nyuu, when you get there, I promise, the first half of the series is nothing like the second half. I promise you it gets good.
Yeah, it gets better later, dude.
We'll see if I want to watch Ideon.
Yeah.
But I have still simply been watching Ashita no Joe. It's very possible, probable even, that by the next time we record, it'll be finished with the first season, or at least up until episode 54, where I'm just going to stop watching and start season 2.
Good.
And I have genuinely no idea where the plot's going. Like, because what basically has happened since last I talked about it is Rikishi, the big, huge boxer man, he got out of jail. And before he got out of jail, they were gonna have another final boxing match, but Rikishi was just like, alright, well, I'm getting out in, 3 days, so Joe, fight me literally right now. And Joe is just like, okay, bring it on, bitch. And so they go and they get ready, they grab their gloves, and Joe's just beating the shit out of this dude. And Rikishi's like, what the fuck? How is he killing me so hard? Because Rikishi thought it would just be, an easy win. He thought he could just show up this guy and then get out of prison without ever having to look back. But it was revealed, after the round ended, that Joe, the absolute psycho, the fucking bitch, he had rocks in his boxing gloves.
What?
And he was cheating.
What? Quick question.
What?
Is there ever a point in the show where you are meant to root for Joe?
The only scenes I've seen so far which actually make Joe, at all sympathetic,
Yeah.
is the scene where you're in the courtroom where like when he's getting sentenced, like he's getting his sentence for how long he should be in jail. Like they go over his whole backstory and what made him this way.
Yeah.
And for a second you're like, oh shit, oh I understand now. And then he just like is an asshole, and you're like, you know what, fuck him though. And the other one was when he was like telling the rich girl how like she's like a piece of shit and doesn't actually care about poor people.
True.
And for a moment you were kind of like, yeah, you know what, he kind of right though. But it wasn't like you were supposed to like him. It was just like hearing an unfortunate truth, because you're supposed to like the rich girl.
Oh.
At least I think you're supposed to like her. I don't fucking know. But yeah, Joe's a psycho, and I like every single time something is happening, you're just like, oh, he was in the wrong. But yeah, after Rikishi gets out of jail, he goes fully pro. He goes like 100% pro, and now he's like in the pro boxing world. He's in like a boxing organization that's recognized by the official Japanese Boxing Association. All that shit. And he gets out of, and so eventually Joe does his sentence. It kind of just fast forwards, and like Joe's out of jail now, and his prison buddy also decides that he wants to try and become a boxer. So he's been training for a while with Danpei, old man. Yeah. Danpei's got his little like boxing club that is not yet officially recognized by the Japanese Boxing Association. But after Joe gets out, they want to go and they want to register. Apparently Danpei used to be part of the board. The board of officials on the Boxing Association. And so he comes in, he's like, hey, old buddies, you know, I got this up-and-comer here, and I think he's really going to change the game. How about you let us in, you know? How about you recognize us so that we can get going? And they're like, Danpei, you got kicked off the board because you beat up people and were the worst fucking boxer coach of all time. And you were drunk every fucking day.
Oh my god.
And so they just tell him to get out of there. And he's like, no, I'm a changed man, though. And then they just start, like, making fun of him. And so he gets really mad, and then he, like, beats them up, and then he, like, goes and, like, drinks himself into near comatose state.
I was about to joke, what does he do next? Get drunk?
Mm-hmm.
Joke's
Turns
on
out,
him.
yeah.
Joke's on
And
him
so-
by punching them. He's the real Nazi.
Yeah. And so he goes, and he needs somebody to come in and see him because he's with the police now. And Joe's like, what the fuck happened? And Danpei's just like, fuck boxing. Because he's drunk. But then when Joe looks at him with a face of pure disdain and disappointment, it totally snaps Danpei out of it. And he's like, Joe, I'm so sorry, Joe. I've ruined everything. And that's where I've kind of like left off. So yeah, I have no idea where this is going, because we're halfway through the series and Joe cannot go pro. Joe is just... I want to... something I thought was interesting, though, is like most of this show has taken place in jail. And in jail, it was just kind of like every day he did the work, he went to bed, he ate his like stupid food.
Yeah.
And, you know, life was kind of shit in jail, but also it almost like wasn't. Like the way that it was represented was almost just like, it's just a bunch of boys being boys, you know? Maybe they don't have freedom, but they're living. And then once Joe like gets out of prison, it's kind of like, oh shit, I actually gotta fucking work to live now. And the way that that's all like represented is kind of interesting. The show is like, it has a few themes about like the intrinsic value of like freedom and all these sorts of things, what it is like to get by and all those. And so
Yeah.
I think there hasn't really been like another thing I've watched that like represents like the themes of like freedom in like that way, because like he has been in jail like this whole series and it hasn't really been down about it, but also it doesn't, I don't know, it's really weird about it. Maybe I'll talk about it more in depth some other time.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't really been watching anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been watching anything other than Ideon, so... Which I am definitely doing after we are done recording.
I
haven't been watching anything other than the trailer for Blade Runner Black Lotus.
Why have you been watching that? It wasn't good.
Yeah. I just wanted to talk about the anime news.
Yeah.
This show looks lame as fuck. I didn't like the short film, the Blade Runner short film that Watanabe directed a long time ago. And I was expecting this to be like a longer version of that. Little did I realize that Watanabe is not actually directing this. He's simply the producer.
Yeah.
Something along the line must have changed mid-production, though, because I distinctly remember this being touted as like a full-length version, or at least something in the spirit of that little short film.
Uh-huh.
And now it's like a CG thing.
Oh.
It looks nothing like it. I don't know. It had like pop music playing in the trailer. It looks lame. I do not like it. It doesn't even... It feels like an American HBO drama. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah.
The next bit of anime news, though, is apparently... I didn't know this. Apparently there's a Pokemon live-action series currently in development, early development.
What? Like in Japan or like an American one?
Uh-huh.
All I know is that it is a Netflix original.
Oh.
Yes! Let's go!
Yes.
Death Note 2!
If you think this will be anywhere near as entertaining as Deathflix, I'm sorry, you're gonna be disappointed.
I can't wait for them to make it. For them
Joe
to make Pokemon
Henderson
edgy.
as writer and executive producer, so no, it is not Japanese.
Who the fuck is Joe Henderson, and why do I care about him?
I have no idea. Executive producer and co-showrunner of Netflix's Lucifer series. I don't know what that shit is. It doesn't sound good to me.
Oh, no, I don't think it is good.
Yeah, it's American. But that's all for anime news. I'm looking forward to the live-action Pokemon right next to the live-action Manapus.
Yeah.
Alright, main topic.
Yeah, main topic.
Main topic.
Small creators.
Yeah.
What's it like being one? Who do you know that is a small creator? Any shout-outs you want to give? I have something to say about being a small creator. Because at least, okay, so I do artwork in a small niche community. But now I am no longer a small creator, at least relatively. I'm a very well-recognized artist in my niche. So I know what it's like to be a small creator and then no longer be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how about you? Because you are a small creator. You're small.
I am very small. It's true. I am
You are
very
like
tiny.
ants compared to me.
You are all nothing.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. You're not famous.
I'll have you know that I have an almost 10,000 view video.
I thought you were about to
Dude.
say you have an OnlyFans.
Shh, that's a secret. It's onlyfans.com/bensaint. That joke is gonna be fucking gibberish to anyone who isn't us.
It doesn't have the same ring to it as Patreon.com.
This is a direct message
Unfortunately.
to Ben Sane. When will it be onlyfans.com/BenSane?
I think the ship has already sailed on that one, because doesn't OnlyFans now not allow not safe for work content?
What?
What?
Wait,
I
there's
thought
no way.
I thought they updated to change it for like not safe for work is not allowed anymore.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, but I remember hearing that.
What else are they used for?
I think they just want to be another Patreon.
But there's already a Patreon
Oh, I think
that everyone uses.
they said that they're
I
going to
don't
try
I
to
don't
move
think
away
they
from
have done
adult
it yet,
content.
but they said they want to.
Okay. Alright, Ben. You're up.
His time's running out.
Anyways, no, I do have a 10,000 view video, almost 10,000. It's getting there. I monitor it. It's currently sitting at 7.6 thousand, and that's startlingly close, especially since it is the first video I ever uploaded to my channel. So, you know, I'd say that's a pretty good one. Nothing else that followed ended up with anywhere near that amount of views, but whatever, you know. I guess Gumi just draws in that kind of crowd.
I mean, there's not really another review of the Gumi Rhythm game online.
There is another one, and it is higher quality than mine, but mine does have more views. So,
Nice.
That means it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
You
Mine
you
is, like,
defeated him in a debate.
weird. Mine is weird. I don't know how proud of it I am now, but people seem to like it, so whatever, you know.
Guys, I feel like we might be talking past each other. I feel like we aren't really working with solid definitions. So there is not an Urban Dictionary definition of small creator. So I've decided to blend the definition of Smalls and the definition of creator.
Yeah.
Smalls is the main character in The Sandlot. And creator is someone who creates, also maker, artist, builder, mother, god. So, so if you're the main character in The Sandlot, and an artist,
we are not Smalls creator. We are small creator.
There's no definition for small on Urban Dictionary.
That's really weird. You'd think it would have one.
Yeah.
You know what? All right. You know what I miss about being, at least in the art world? I mean, on YouTube, I am a more than small creator, because I have almost no videos at all. But I want to break into that YouTube game, and I don't imagine that I'll get very popular very quickly, or potentially ever.
Yeah.
But at least in terms of, like, being an illustrator within a community, I kind of miss having no followers. It's great to have a lot of followers because then I can sell artwork for money. And that's fun and all. But people give too much of a shit about, like, you. You know what I mean? Like, they don't just care about your artwork. When you enter, like, a community and you're, like, I guess, a well-known person in that community, now suddenly, like, you and your personality and your opinions, like, matter.
Yeah.
And it kind of affects the way that you approach making art, or at least me. And I think that's really something that I have to fucking get solved. Because, like, when I just had, like, 200 or less followers, when I had, like, 100, I would just, like, write whatever I wanted in my description. My like, profile description was, like, 3 paragraphs of just fucking nonsense. Like, and I knew it was nonsense. That was, like, the fun part. I had a lot more fun back in the day, and I just didn't care. And now I care because everyone else cares, and I think it makes your stuff, like, more boring. You have so much more soul when you know, like, nobody's watching.
I don't know. Maybe. You know, on that topic, there is one thing. As a small creator myself, looking to become a larger creator, I don't know how large I would be comfortable with being, but, you know, looking to become someone who's got a bit more presence on the internet. The one thing that I never, ever want to happen, ever, is, like, I make a video on a game, right?
Yeah.
Like, I make a video discussing why I hated God of War or something, which is a real opinion that I do hold. I don't like the God of War games. The last thing I want to happen is for a conversation to be happening about God of War, and for my name to come up, and for someone to be like, go watch this video by him. It proves that God of War is a bad game, and you are bad for liking it.
No, I wouldn't care about that. I feel like that would be almost, like, endearing. What I would have an issue with... No. What I would have an issue with is if I said something, and that started the discussion.
Oh, I don't like that either. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't mind starting the discourse about a game. The thing is, I don't want to be used as the weapon in the discourse.
Yeah.
I would rather my video be used as the branching off point to discuss, well, do I view God of War as a negative game or not, you know? And if the answer is no, that's totally fine. Whatever. Yeah. I don't care. Enjoy your God of Wars or whatever video or whatever game I'm making the video on. But never, ever use what I say in an argument without thinking critically about it first. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you see, this is fundamentally a problem with game critique. All of it is invalid.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact.
Except for mine.
No, especially yours, because you don't critique Sonic. Ever.
Wait a minute.
This is the Sonic episode now.
No.
Wait a minute. Something about that doesn't add up. I'm sorry, I literally built what empire I have on the internet around the little blue fucker, so...
Yeah, because you're a Sonic fan, which means you don't...
Wait.
I feel like when you have, like... Okay, here's something that I think is interesting about, like, there's multiple kinds of people when it comes to having a small following or no following. There's like the kinds of people who make their things with the expectation that eventually they will have a larger following because of it. And then there's people who almost don't think about it or want there to be no, like, more followers, which is kind of a strange position to be in. Particularly people who don't think about it. I feel like it's best to not think about the idea of having, like, more followers in the future or, like, attracting them. Because when you think about, like, having a following, it does affect what you're, like, sort of making in a way that where it becomes, like, less personal, where you're kind of trying to curtail to something. And so what happens, I think, and I'm not good at explaining this right now because I'm super tired, but what I'm trying to get at is that if you make something super raw, then you're going to attract followers if it's, like, actually good, regardless. And I don't think how good something turns out depends on how much you're, like, trying to make it appealing. It's just as, like, how... I don't know, fucking how skilled you are at it.
I disagree that, like,
Hold up, wait, I'm not done yet. We can get into that in a second. But what I mean is, if you're kind of curtailing to an audience before you've developed an audience, then you'll end up developing an audience which is less, like, centered around the things that you actually care about. Like, if you're making purely just, like, oh, I want to talk about this thing in the way that I want to talk about it before you have an audience, then, like, you'll probably get an audience that is more like your style. Don't attract an audience which isn't like your style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
I think that I don't agree that you'll, like, naturally gain followers if you don't, like, to some extent kind of curtail your content around gaining followers. You know?
I mean, if you're doing something which just has less of an audience, then of course you'll get less followers.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to make, like, pop style content. I think as long as you're vaguely somewhere that has an audience, then, like, as long as you're making your stuff good, then they'll find it.
I want to step in here and say that you're both kind of wrong here. As far as I have seen from every creator who has at all gained any traction on, especially YouTube, it's random. It's pretty much just random.
On YouTube, it's a bit weird because there's, like, the algorithm.
Okay,
if we're on, like, an art website or, like, some other, like, earlier style of content discovery,
I'm thinking mainly through the lens of, like, YouTube and Twitch.
Same.
I don't know anything about how, like, Twitter or, like, Fur Affinity or whatever works.
Getting discovered
Fur Affinity
on
is very old style.
Well, I don't know what the new style is.
Should I, like, step around what I actually draw? We're gonna edit this out. If I should.
I don't know.
I don't have to be explicit, but I do draw fetish artwork. That's what I do.
I don't care.
on furaffinity.net.
I have no image on the internet outside of this podcast and a Twitch stream that I've streamed on once. They should all visit at twitch.tv/sayudes.
I would like to step in here and state that with Nyuu, neither me nor Sayu know Nyuu through his artwork.
No, and neither of them like it. I draw a weird thing that none of my actual friends give a fuck about. It's just something I do.
Yeah. I would like to get that in the open now.
It's simply something my friends must accept about me, like a disability.
So here's the thing. We mentioned Twitch here, and getting discovered on YouTube and getting discovered on Twitch are two completely different games.
I don't know how anybody gets discovered on Twitch. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me how that could happen.
It's hard. So the thing about getting discovered on Twitch is it all comes from the bigger creators down. Let's just say I'm on Twitch and I'm streaming Dark Souls 3 and I'm doing, like, a funny challenge run or my character looks like a mangled mess or something and, you know, someone thinks I'm entertaining and that someone is also a Dark Souls streamer who likes my content. They can do a couple of things. They can raid me or they can host me. Raiding's a bit weird. From what I've heard, they can go pretty haywire. They're not very fun. But hosting is literally just they stream you on their channel as well. And it puts you in front of their audience, and that's like the biggest way you're gonna get discovered on Twitch. I hate to say it. Most people do not go out of their way to check certain categories or to go through things. They have streamers that they find through other services like YouTube or Twitter, and they follow those guys, and those guys, if they're feeling generous, will host people, and that's how you get discovered through Twitch. I don't think I've ever been hosted by anybody. Most of my growth was through people just crawling the Sonic stuff on Twitch, basically. Like, I think I found Robert when I was streaming, like, Sonic 2 or something.
It is a bit easier to get noticed if you are, like, in a category that has an audience that is just, like, and I do not mean this at all degradingly, I say it with pure admiration, autistically centered on, like, just something. Like, where they will go and look at, like, all the things that are about that. Or, like, if you make a review of a Sonic game, somebody's gonna find it.
Exactly, yeah.
That's why the Gumi fans love it when you review the rhythm game.
Right? Like, catering to specific audiences is actually a really great way to earn followers. Although you end up in a weird situation where you can actually bite yourself entirely in the ass. Like, if you really if you really love the content you make, you end up being like a Vati Vidya, you know? Someone who just takes off, gains 1 million subscribers like fucking overnight, and like you just make content about a series you love forever, and that's your job now.
Your Cybershell.
Yeah, Cybershell. And then there's people like Chaseface, if anybody remembers him.
I've heard of him. I never liked him.
He made some really good videos about Sonic. I think it was 1 and 2 that he got to. Called Sonic What Happened, and he was going through them, and he really tore down the games and their themes and like the aesthetic choices and the music. He was able to tear down really well, and he liked Sonic, but he built his entire audience around Sonic. That's all they cared about. And when he uploaded other things and people didn't watch, they were like, he was like, oh, fine, I'm never making another Sonic video again. And, like, I think he still has a bunch of followers, but, like, it really set him back then. Yeah. And it, like, seriously hurt his chances of continuing on the platform. And, like, I don't know, if you're not prepared for switching your content and losing followers for that, or not gaining views on what you're currently doing, then you should probably find something that you're going to enjoy sticking with.
You know, I don't really know where to put this, but I'm just, like, listening in the editing bay here, you know, as they say. And I wanted to note that I think this issue of, like, something going totally viral or whatever, like, blowing up in a certain community, and then those few one-off things that you did becoming where the majority of your fan base is from, that's most of an issue on these sites like YouTube and Twitch and Twitter for the most part. Things that are people's discovery of new stuff is from algorithms. It's mostly reliant on algorithms rather than pure user-driven discovery through things like the front page, searches, people's favorites. Like, you have to go out of your way to search for things. On sites like that, more traditional discovery structures, you're not likely to get the majority of your fan base from just a few things, because getting a fan base on things like those are more of like a gradual process, and that's another reason why I kind of like the older structure better than the algorithm structure. Algorithms shit.
I'm fine. I don't care if I lose views or whatever. I don't care if the latest episode of Nier only gets like 10 views or whatever. I am not making Nier for the views or whatever, you know? Like, I don't know, the people who are attracted to my channel from, like, the older rhythm game reviews, they don't watch the Nier content, and I am more than okay with that. I don't really feel obligated to try and keep these high subscriber counts, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like in the situation of something like Chaseface, I never watched much of Chaseface, but they seem to have, like, a very, like, I don't know, like, normie presentation style. It was, like, hyper pop, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he had a very polished and, like, very, very pop-oriented, like pop YouTube.
It clearly wasn't entirely coming from, like, himself, the style of video that he was creating. It was, like, other stuff that he had seen.
He wanted it.
That was more presentable to a large audience.
Yeah.
And if you end up covering, like, a specific topic in, like, a style like that, where it's not about you, it's not, like, a more personal thing, you are going to, like, attract that audience, and when you do something else, they're not going to care, because they don't actually care about you and your personal idiosyncrasies and like the touch that you put on things. They just want like that style Sonic, you know? And so that is the risk of trying to cultivate an audience with stuff that's like, I guess, almost pre-made, like less inspired, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta avoid it. You gotta attract followers that, like, you know, are more about what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of like people who what is it? Like, we'll just go out and find things of a specific type that make it easy for you to get more of a following by just appealing to very like specific like niches. As a fetish artist, I often come across other very small artists who do very normal art, very like, you know, non-fetishistic, non-sexual, just like totally normal. They're just like drawn like anime characters or just whatever else they're doing. And they have this weird attitude towards like people who make more like sexual or fetishistic art, where they see you as like less of an artist. Or they're just like upset about how you're on easy mode or whatever. Well, first of all, being upset that other people have more followers than you is dumb. Because I don't know, why are you making art? Just quit. That's my pro advice. Stop. But after that, I really feel like people don't understand like why anybody likes to see art. Like they're not just going to go out and find some random amateur artist when there's nothing particularly like that they want from it, you know? The reason why it is so much easier to gain followers as like a porn artist or I shouldn't say that word on YouTube.
Oh no!
Wait, why not?
Quickly, editor, reverse it.
We're gonna get demonetized.
We
don't have monetization on anything.
Edit in the word Minecraft instead.
No, but porn artists, fetish artists who like make art of like specific community stuff like Sonic and Pokemon, stuff like that. They have a much easier time because there's just like there's less supply, you know? Like, people pretend that there's, porn's fucking all over the place, it's everywhere. But not compared to just normal artwork. Like, if you're making just character portraits, you're up against the most talented manga artists and character illustrators of all time. And if you make Sonic porn, you're up against an amateur Twitter artist as, like, the best example of what the medium has to offer. So that's why it's easier. It's not easier because, I don't know, humans are intrinsically stupid and just reward certain behaviors out of, like, I don't know, an appeal to sinful behavior or whatever the fuck people think. They want it because they're not getting it from anywhere else. If you just make normal, no gimmick artwork, you need a gimmick. You need a gimmick.
It's not even that. I feel like most people like browse art. Like, there's not really much to get out of like a character portrait, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's still cool that people do that, and you know, I enjoy seeing it when I do see it.
Yeah.
But like, you just don't. You're not getting anything out of it as like most people who are looking at Twitter art. You know?
Like there's. I don't mean to rag on all the Twitter artists out there who don't want to do anything other than what they're doing, and they're just not getting much of a following. But it's the attitude of feeling like, oh, why don't I have what they have? That's a terrible place to be. And when you're just not understanding like why certain art appeals to people en masse.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta find a niche.
Yeah, find your niche, or better yet, just forget about it. Just do what you want.
Yeah.
Don't rely on getting a following. Just do whatever makes you happy. Don't think about how other people are making more money than me. Other people are getting commissions more than me. Other people are.
I mean, I do agree that like wanting a following, like feeling like you're entitled to it, is like an intrinsically bad thing as an artist. But I also feel like it's pretty lame advice to just be like, oh, stop thinking that way. I feel like if you want a following and you're not getting it and you're blaming it on things that have nothing to do with why you're actually not getting followers, then it's better to just like, give actually a better direction.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost a cop-out to just say, oh, you shouldn't want followers, even though that's definitely true.
Like, I don't know, maybe it's just that I can't, like, relate to the whole, like being really upset that you're not getting followers or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never really viewed it like that, and I just...
when I reached, like, 1,000 followers, like, the first time...
Yeah.
I was honestly, like, I never wanted to have much of a following, and I was very scared of it.
Yeah.
Because suddenly it was like, oh, people are watching what I'm saying. And that was like, I had just made a Twitter account because enough people had asked me to make a Twitter account. And I was like, if I say something on social media, will I die? Like, I felt that way. Because I had never used social media. For the most part, I hadn't talked to people online. And I feel like that's a much better place to be as a beginner artist that's first gaining a large following, is being scared and not wanting this.
I feel like for like 90% of people who do like art a ton on like Twitter or whatever, I feel like it's like kind of just natural to feel like you like want a following, because like you spend like you spend like thousands of hours of your life like practicing this skill and like getting like really really good at it.
Yeah. And you put hours and hours into like individual images.
You feel like, and you do like to some extent like deserve like some form of like societal like validation. I don't know how to say that.
Maybe.
And like I can understand kind of both sides. Getting angry at like porn artists is done, but
yeah.
But like I can understand being like frustrated that you aren't getting a following for what you're doing when what you're doing is objectively very talented work that not many people can do that much, or not even not that many people, because a lot of people can draw, but but like it's a lot of hard work, and
and I can understand that. I guess I just want more people to not feel like they have to produce normal things. That's my frustration with like all the normal artists that are like, oh, why do the porn artists have more followers than me? I just want you to start making fucking weird shit that nobody else is making. If you just make things that nobody else is making, but other people still want to see,
go crazy.
Then there you go.
Oh,
go fucking crazy.
Things people want to see is generally normal stuff that people are already making.
No, I don't think most people want to see totally normal stuff. Nobody wants to see just like generic character portraits. People want to see things that have their specific personal interess.
I have a friend. If I could get in here real quick. I have a friend in real life, of course. That's how I met this person. I have in real life IRL friend who all she fucking draws. All she draws is like Ratchet and Clank fan art.
Yeah.
That's it. And she draws like it's all super like self-indulgent. It's like they're in like the punk outfits that she likes wearing.
Yeah.
She dresses them up in like Hot Topic clothes.
Yeah.
And like, you know what? She has like 300 followers. She's been fucking retweeted by Insomniac like on their main account before.
Yeah.
And she's had retweets of like the new character from the new game Rivet. She's had retweets from her voice actress. And like she just makes her weirdo like cool Ratchet and Clank art, and that's just what she does.
Yeah.
And she gets a following. She never really like talks about whether or not she wants it, but you know.
Yeah. I should clarify, stuff that is presentable to normal people
can still be weird.
Yeah. Like, it can be personal. Like,
yeah.
Most people, like, I don't know, when Dragon Ball came out in Shonen Jump, there wasn't another manga like Dragon Ball, but it was still like a normal manga, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was weird, like boogie pop. The boogie and the pop, you need both.
Yeah. And a lot of people forget the boogie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Okay.
The author of Boogie Pop called the book the name that it was because he felt like it combined what he described as pop sensibility with boogie elements. And boogie sounds like another word for weird in Japanese. And he felt like pop media and boogie media, as he described it, were these opposite ends of the spectrum. And the stuff that always becomes like the cultural phenomenons are the boogie pop things.
The stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, that's like very much true. Maybe not as much nowadays. I don't know. I feel like a lot of trends nowadays are just very bland.
No, I mean, I think I think it's definitely true. Like Five Nights at Freddy's, Undertale, these are things that had a lot of pop sensibility that were out there.
Yeah, but there's also Fortnite.
Okay,
yes, that's just throwing money at the wall, though. That's like advertising to fucking hell.
True.
Okay. Like I feel like with stuff like the popularity of like Call of Duty and like Assassin's Creed, like no Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed game is going to be like a huge deal to like anyone. Yeah. It's going to be no one's 10 out of 10. It's probably going to be everyone's at most 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why they're like so popular because they appeal to everyone at that like 5 out of 10 level. Like I even think that like Assassin's Creed games that I played are like 5 out of 10.
And they are just reiterated in culture like repeatedly, so they're a constant of life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't really consider works like that artwork. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think of Call of Duty as art, and to a lesser degree, I think the same of Assassin's Creed.
Can an android produce art?
That's a good question.
This is a different topic.
Well, you see, I believe that an android can produce art, because the android, by definition, is still part human. Can a robot produce art? No. Fuck robots.
Wait, I thought that was cyborgs you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay, then no. Fuck robots.
I think an android is just a robot which is meant to replicate human behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
because a robot can be anything. It can be the thing on the assembly line.
Well, I think that like a lot of artists and shit work on like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty. It's like
but
a lot of like extremely
are they even
talented
creatively directed?
They like to some extent, yeah. Like it's like they're like creative directors who do everything. They just have like Ubisoft like over their shoulder at every moment. Like they're still working on it. They're still like artists working on it. They're just heavily restricted.
No sympathy for the artists at corporations. Not even a little. They deserve crunch.
Oh my god! All right, this is getting spicy.
No, that's a joke, by the way. But also become an indie dev.
Here's my thing, right?
That's not something most people okay.
Here's my thing. The assets by themselves are artwork. That is correct.
Okay,
the music by itself. Wait. The music by itself is artwork. The scripts by themselves can be artwork. But when Ubisoft soullessly compiles all of these together with no creative direction in the exact same iteration,
they're not creative directors. They're just heavily restricted.
Shut up. In the exact same way that they've compiled it before 1,000,000 times, I do not believe that is artwork. That is corporate sludge that they are trying to convince you is artwork.
No, because someone else is doing the construction.
We'll get back to this on the Joker episode.
Oh my god, I would have to watch the movie first.
I fucking hate Joker. I won't talk about it right now.
I haven't seen the movie. I will refrain from commenting.
Oh god, how can we get this back on track? Do we even need that be on track? I don't fucking know.
No, I don't.
I feel like if we just start with a topic and then just ramble about whatever about like Sonic maybe. Or whatever, it's a successful episode if we talk a lot.
All episodes evolve into Sonic.
It's true. It's literally true. We've talked about Sonic in every episode. You little blue motherfucker, get away from us.
Did we talk about it in arcades?
We had to have. There's no way we didn't mention him even once. I haven't watched that episode myself yet, so I don't know.
I still haven't watched any episode myself.
Oh my god, guys, re-listen to the episode.
I'm like 3 episodes behind. I'll get back on track eventually when I'm not watching Ideon.
Nyuu refuses to send us the minimally edited audio,
I'll do it this time, okay?
What do you mean you? We're talking to the editor.
Yeah.
No, he gives it to me.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
So the bottleneck is actually you.
Yeah. So you're just hogging it all.
I'm the one uploading the episodes, but they're the one editing them.
Well, yeah, you have to upload them. There's no way in hell we're giving our editor internet access.
Yeah.
Might call an Uber and get the fuck out of there.
He had to use a mobile hotspot to download the image, and there's like check marks and circles.
I feel like there was many things I wanted to say, and I haven't said any of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I kind of went on a weird tangent.
Yeah.
The only thing I went into this episode on, like, thinking about is just my own philosophy about small creation. Yeah. I don't actually follow any small creators.
You guys ever watched the Big Joel video about small YouTubers?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
It's his only good video. Actually, that's a lie. Big Joel has plenty of good videos.
He's got a couple. I can't think of any.
I like it when Big Joel just talks about weird shit.
This is a message to Big Joel of What's his channel name?
Big Joel.
Big Joel and Big Joel.
Yeah. Strangely,
you have
Big
no
Joel is
videos,
actually a small little man.
Oh.
He is a very small, strange-looking man. The only reason he stands out to me is that he's the bread tuber whose Twitter presence isn't garbage. That's how I know him.
Yeah, he is like a guy who like doesn't get into arguments and doesn't like seemingly want to make life worse for others. He just
I'm about to say, what about
says things?
I'm about to say, what about ContraPoints? But then I remember
ContraPoints definitely likes to stir up things.
Doesn't she like not have a Twitter anymore?
No, she got one back because she just loves it. She loves it.
I see.
God, how does she put up with that? If the TERFs ever, if like I was ever targeted by people the way she is, I would just crumble and die. Like
Twitter does something to your head where. Not only they're very lesser talked about elements of Twitter.
Yeah,
people have mentioned that it makes you more easily able to harass other people and want to take down and destroy others. But it also makes you just love getting destroyed. You know, like
True.
When people are harassing you, you just can't stop looking at it.
I fucking hate Twitter so much. I need to spend less time on it, but I don't have any other way to spend the time that I spend on Twitter. So I gotta find something for that.
Rhythm games.
I don't always have headphones. I should work on that.
Steam Deck.
I used to play Kingdom Hearts, the mobile game, whenever I had nothing to do, but that game's dead now. So.
Oh, there's a version of the Skullgirls on mobile apparently.
Interesting.
That's like a good fighting game.
I think it's objectively better to be a small creator.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it would affect my content either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the way I go about content creation. I'm never thinking about the audience. I'm thinking about the finished product.
Remember Big Dip on a Bus?
Yeah.
The greatest Let's Player of all time.
What an odd, funny man. Is he still going?
Yeah, he still does like live streams. I don't know if he does like Let's Plays anymore.
Yeah. He does do Let's Plays, yes.
Oh.
He's currently doing one on Twilight Princess Randomizer.
Oh. Interesting.
Final lessons. Are we do we have anything else to say? This is a short episode.
Yeah, it is kind of short.
Yeah.
Final lessons. Don't ever try and have an audience.
Never.
Not even a little.
My advice to anyone who's looking to get into content creation on the internet, never, ever, 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 ever consider your audience.
I disagree.
Don't do it.
Only consider your audience insofar as feeling like they're not the audience you want to have.
Sayu.
The real talk, alright. The real talk, consider what you want first, and then try to find, and then you can consider how your audience might fit into that.
Yeah.
Like,
try to like your stuff. And the thing you have the thing you want to have in common with your audience is that you like the things that you like.
You see, there was a show I watched, bringing it back to anime, called Carol and Tuesday, and there is a moment in that show where a character decides to give his final performance for just the main two characters, Carol and Tuesday, and they're like, "What? But everyone's got to hear this." And he looks at them and he says, "It doesn't matter who hears the song. It just matters that you performed it and it reached someone. You have to find your someone. So don't produce your content for just some generic audience. Produce your content for someone in your life to understand, someone in your life to get and enjoy. Do that, and you will always enjoy your finished product almost all the time, unless it goes really bad.
I mean, if you amass a lot of followers, it's like good. It's good that people see things, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so much better to just have all of your followers be incidental, almost. Mm-hmm. Like, they have come across something that you just decided to make.
Yeah. I like that philosophy. It's good.
I feel like if that works for people, that's fine. But I don't think it's always better.
I do think it's always better, and that's why live streaming is intrinsically worthless. Fuck Vine Sauce.
No, that's what I do.
Stop trolling.
That's what I do at twitch.tv/Sayudas.
You're attacking me.
I live stream.
I'm literally, I was a streamer. That's how, I guess I technically still am. I don't really have the means to stream right now, but I want to get back to streaming. I like streaming because it's just a hangout. You're having a fun time.
Yeah, I do.
I don't really. It's weird. I don't really consider streaming as like a form of content creation on my end. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really consider it like that. I just consider streaming like a fun thing.
I've always considered streaming like basically just a way to more closely interact with people who are already following you for something else. I don't really understand. I mean, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I just mean I don't actually get what there is to streaming other than it being like a supplementary thing.
Yeah, I don't think of it as like a full-time thing either. It's a
I know that there's a lot
where...
of streamers that are just like streamers, and there's really big ones, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't actually understand how that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I'm gonna watch a stream, I'm gonna turn on...
for stuff like speedrunning, and like competitive games. Like if you want to watch somebody speedrun a thing, it's like, okay, no, that's what it's about. But there are two streamers that I will respect ever. Two of them.
Yeah.
Vinny and Joel. Those two. They're both great. Their streams are artwork, especially when Joel installs Windows on a virtual machine and fucking demolishes it.
I can't get into Vinesauce. They are very funny. I like the clips, but I can't get into actually like watching them.
I turn them on whenever I need something to just listen to.
I think Vinny's good background noise. I don't really like Joel that much though.
I like Joel a lot. Joel is the more directly entertaining of the two of them. You know, Vinny, like, sometimes he'll, like, scream, and that's when you get the chuckle, but, like, Joel's just, like, an insane man, and I respect him for it completely.
Yeah.
There was a point in, like... in like a live stream that he did where he just hooked his controller up to a MIDI sound producer and just played Mario like that, and every time he pressed a button it made like sounds, and at one point he replaced the audio with like screaming noises that he was making. And I shit you not, the stream is completely like undecipherable from that point on. It's just gibberish. So, you know, if there are good streamers, you can stream in a way that's interesting, but I don't know. For the most part, I'd say most people's personalities don't really work out in that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cover my bases. You know, if I ever say something that's an extreme essentialist black and white statement, which is dumb sounding, it probably is because I'm joking and I don't actually mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Unless I say that I am 100% actually serious and not joking, then I'm probably not joking.
But then that sounds like a joke.
Okay, but if I say it, just believe me.
All right.
Okay, you know what?
You're gonna get clipped.
Sure. We're gonna
YouTube has a clip feature now.
Let's check voicemails.
Voicemails? It would be really cool if we had one this week.
Yeah, let's see. What's the website called? Speakpipe.com/3baka. That's the URL. Send in anything you want. 6 days ago, we got a voicemail from Rob Person.
Hello, Rob Person.
Rob Person.
All right.
Hold up. How do I send this?
How do you send it? We've never actually hit this.
I think you have to download it.
Wait, we did it. We did it. We did this for one of the IRL things.
We've always done this in person, and we should definitely record in person when possible because it always turns out better.
Does it now?
Yes. So open this in your audio player of choice. Okay. We're gonna sync it up.
Yeah.
How do I open this with an actual?
We should probably cut out all this finagling.
Yeah, we'll cut it out.
All right.
Okay. I'm about to press the play button.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay.
And go.
3, 2, 1, go.
We have been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty. Please, somebody give us your money. We're so lonely. Oh, God.
I don't actually have a card. So I'll try
Jumps
next time.
Oh, wait, Tom. Wait, you have a card, don't you?
I am the only one in the group who has a car.
I do have a car. I just would like to pretend that it doesn't exist.
I think they're saying your extended warranty, which like
you should probably give them all your money.
Next time you leave a voicemail, could you leave like a something that we could contact you back maybe get you that money?
Yeah,
that'd be very much appreciated.
Do we have a comment?
We probably have a comment.
Nobody should listen to this episode. This was terrible.
What?
This one was actually terrible.
They're all terrible. Move on.
I hope we don't receive a comment on this one. That's called reverse psychology. That means we'll get more engagement.
Oh yeah. Do not like and subscribe.
Do not.
Wait, no, we have to say like and subscribe a bunch of times towards the end here, so the YouTube algorithm will recommend us. Like and subscribe. Ring
Like
the
and
bell.
subscribe.
Robert Anderson.
Hit the follow
legend.
button on twitch.tv/SayuDes.
On the arcades, okay, we get to talk about arcades. This is where the real episode starts.
Oh my god.
On the arcades episode, Robert Anderson comments, quote, "This made me realize how out of touch I am with arcades. I thought Mario Kart Arcade GP, having a card to save your progress, was some crazy thing. Turns out it is just commonplace." And he talks about the Simpsons arcade game. He played that one the most of all. I don't know what Simpsons arcade game he's talking about.
It's the Simpsons arcade
The
game.
Simpsons arcade game.
There's only one that like has any notoriety like this. You've probably seen it. It's a beat 'em up, and it's got like I think it's like 16-bit graphics.
Yeah, the beat 'em up game.
Yeah, Marge has a vacuum.
Yeah.
That one.
I do feel like saving your progress on a card is like crazy, even though I know it's not.
It's because it's only a thing in Japan, really. Over here in the West, we don't really have anything that supports it. People don't want to carry a bunch of extra cards around in their wallet unless they're like a diehard rhythm game fan, like me.
I am like so tempted to like go down like in a couple days and like spend the rest of my credits just trying to get good at Waka.
Yeah, that game was so fun. It was.
I
like,
really want to.
just...
I need to find my other drawing glove though, so that I don't have the friction.
Right? Yeah, I need to invest in cotton gloves so that my hands don't get stuck on the fucking touchscreens anymore.
I have a bunch of drawing gloves, and those could definitely be used. I just put them over my index finger instead of my ring finger.
Yeah. I don't know. I want the full gloves because I'm planning on playing Mai as well. So. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like arcades.
Yeah, we should have talked about arcades too.
Yeah.
Arcades too.
All right, next episode is Arcades 2.
No, what is next episode?
I'm confirming it now.
Wait,
I don't know.
What are we doing?
We should determine what the next episode is so we don't just fucking forget.
Yeah, you know what? That's a new segment at the very end of the episode. We talk about what the next episode is.
Yeah, what's the next episode?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, this is the preview now.
You know, we should, a topic that would be very fun for sparking arguments. Consoles versus PC.
Yeah, that's a good one. Alright, we're going with that one.
Alright.
I don't know if I'll be able to say anything about it, but
I'm sure you will.
Sayu, what do you mean you won't be able to say anything about it? You literally fight me about this constantly.
Yeah, but it's really there's like nothing to argue on your end,
What?
What do you mean?
What? No, you're directly wrong here.
There are no arguments in favor of console.
You should know more than anyone.
What do you mean there's no arguments in favor of consoles? I mean, maybe not. Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it next time.
There's your preview, everybody.
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. All right, good night, everybody.
All right,
good night.
Yeah!